Bonjour! Bienvenue à Bayonne. Welcome to Bayonne, the capital of the French Basque country in southwestern France. We are so close to Spain here. And this city is beautiful. I've been here for a few days, really enjoying discovering it. The architecture is spectacular. It sits on two rivers that connect here and then go on into the Atlantic Ocean, and both rivers played a very big part in the history of the city. This first river is right here. It's called La Nive, N-I-V-E, and it is lined with beautiful homes, interesting mix of architectural styles, but you do recognize some of the homes we have seen before in the Basque countries, though those are very high. The reason they were built like this is because a lot of these houses were built on stilts. There were canals all the way into the early 17th century. There were canals leaving from the river. You can see those little side streets over there, and there were canals alongside those streets, and twice a day the tide would come in and a lot of the basements would have been flooded without the stilts, which is why those houses were built so high, so tall and so narrow. Now some of them have the half-timbered style that we've seen in other regions of France. The green, the blue are popular colors, but the red, Basque red, which is the oxblood color, is also very popular. And some of them have stone facades with the little railings, balconies as a decoration. So we are going to walk alongside the river. I wanted you to get a feel for this. It's a lively scene at night. Right now we are looking in a part of town known as the Grand Bayonne, the place where the city started back in Roman times in the 4th century AD. And if you cross the river, the Nive River, you hop into another part of town called le Petit Bayonne. It's very different in atmosphere, but I really like it too. And then past le Petit Bayonne is the other river, the Adour, A-D-O-U-R, and then another neighborhood known as Saint-Esprit, the Holy Spirit. So really what's happening is a lot of the historical landmarks are on that side, in Le Grand Bayonne, and this is where I will be heading later today to film another video to show you some of these lively streets. But for now, let's enjoy our stroll. So some people you will hear say, this city, this town, this city reminds me of Venice. Well, if you know that the houses are built on stilts and that there were canals here, then you can see why that would make a fitting comparison. Now, like many cities this summer, Bayonne is very quiet, but it's August and the French have taken their time off in August, as they have been known to do, and since many of them did not travel abroad this year, many cities have been through, as you recall, have been extremely busy this month. Restaurants starting around 6:30 p.m., wine bars, restaurants, everybody's out. It's hard to get a table at the most popular places. Right now, of course, it's very quiet, and this is my favorite time of day. It's probably 10:30 in the morning, and you see the businesses setting up for the day. Another peek at the Petit Bayonne, that other part of town on the other side of the river. La rue des Cordeliers. I really like this street. The Petit Bayonne tends to be quieter than Le Grand Bayonne, at least in the daytime. Back to this side. You have some really nice examples of the buildings here with the stone facade and the pretty railings. And you had more of the half-timbered homes on that side. The big building that you see now, the green building, is the local covered market known as Les Halles. It's a good size, it's a nice scene, some very nice fine merchandise in there. quite a few merchants. There's a big market on Saturdays that sprawls all over that side, but the alleys over, I think they're open pretty much every day. And you can spot some of the products that the area is known for, including the jambon de Bayonne, as well as some fish and seafood. The Atlantic Ocean really isn't that far away. Biarritz, where I stayed last week, I don't know if you've seen my videos. If you haven't, you can catch them on YouTube on France with Véro. Biarritz is a 10-minute train ride away. But we are inland here somewhat. If you haven't watched my videos or followed me before, my name is Véro. I am a travel blogger, a Paris-based tour guide, a French language instructor. And what I do in many channels, in social media, on Facebook, Instagram, on my YouTube channel, on my blog, FrenchGirlInSeattle.com, is share my love of Paris and France. And this summer, I've been traveling around beautiful Western France, starting in Brittany, and then working my way down. I'm now way down from Brittany, but still in Western France, on the Atlantic coast almost, in Bayonne, the beautiful city of Bayonne. Now you see the two spires of the cathedral. We will see it in another video I will film. You can see the spires from almost everywhere in the town, which is really interesting. I am following the Nive River, N-I-V-E, one of the two rivers in town. This sign indicates that the free shuttle, it's bright orange color, that can take you all around town, this is a stop here, so you could do that if you visit Bayonne and you don't want to walk the whole way. Here's a better view of the Nive. The colorful facades on the Grand Bayonne side, more colorful facades on the Petit Bayonne side. These will be all lit up at sunset and will be glowing then. And these chairs and tables you see will be packed with locals and tourists. Here is the square. Before we wrap up, I will show you a house that's very well known in this area. It's a lot bigger than the other houses we've just seen. It's known as La Maison Moulis, M-O-U-L-I-S, and the style is so interesting. It combines the half-timbered look with stone facades as well, and the windows have been inspired by the Renaissance. And I think it combines the styles and the colors quite successfully. You may agree with me. Here it is at the corner here. So this side facing the river is similar to what you've seen. And on this side facing the market, look at this interesting structure. You have the stone and the beautiful Renaissance style windows. And I remember what I mentioned earlier, these houses that you see going up the street, I won't do this now because I'll do this in another video, but a lot of these houses are built on stilts. And there was a canal here once. I think it's almost time for me to go and sit down for a café, some coffee on terrace. I enjoy sitting across from Les Halles. I will probably do that. Bayonne is quieter somewhat than it was in previous years. The big summer festival that happens for 5 days at the beginning of August has been cancelled. It's known as les Fete de Bayonne. People come from everywhere to attend les Fete de Bayonne, but not this year. Oh, in the distance on the bridge, this bridge is known as le Pont Maringot. You can see the little orange shuttle I was talking to you about just a few minutes ago. It's a free shuttle that takes you from one side to the other side. Saves you from walking too much if you don't want to. And this square at night, very lively, and at lunchtime as well. This is where the market is held on Saturdays. This section of the market is known as le Carro, and you will hear that in other French cities as well. Carro, C-A-R-R-E-A-U, refers to the outdoor part of the market, where traditionally merchants would sit down and put their wares down literally on le carreau, which meant the ground. It's a lot quieter now than it will be in a couple of hours when the lunch crowd arrives and all the tourists are up ready for another busy day in Bayonne, sampling local specialties like the delicious chocolate that originated in this city a long, long time ago and spread all over France, or some jambon de Bayonne, the cured ham that is a delicacy here. Fresh seafood. You won't go starving in Bayonne. I will stand on le Pont Maringot and wrap up this video for now. And we'll do another one later. Make sure to catch it too. In the distance across the bridge from me is the Musée, the History Museum of Bayonne. It's very interesting, highly recommended. More of these facades, so these are less colorful than the ones we've just seen. And here's a peek at one of the beautiful streets in Le Grand Bayonne, where I will go in a few minutes, take you on another part of my trip. I share information about my travels and my French life every day in social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, under France with Véro. I have a YouTube channel where you can find all these walks, whether they're live streamed or pre-recorded like this one. So don't hesitate to look me up if you love La Belle France as much as I do and miss it. Thank you for joining me in Bayonne today. À bientôt!